You may wonder how this like a beautiful landscape have been taken. So my short answer is I engineered them. So my name is Botao Hu, and I am a landscape photographer, and I am also a computer scientist graduate from Stanford. Today I'm very happy to be here to share with you my story about engineering and art. Artist has vision, and usually artists need to convert that vision into their a medium as an artwork. And this conversion process is not very easy. Sometimes have a lot of barriers. The barrier might include skill, budget, logistic, execution, physical limit, and also technical available. A lot of artists' creativity is limited by the barriers, and it's a very common frustration for artists to compromise their vision because of those barriers. So as a photographer myself, I run into this situation very, very often. And as an engineer, I try to look a way to solve this problem. And the solution I discovered is engineering itself. So the first story I want to share with you is about chasing the sun. And I was a member of a photography club in my undergrad college. And that club just a bunch of geeks, and almost everyone has an engineering background, but we love photograph. And the concept for this photo is very easy, just a little guy holding a giant, a huge sun. But the execution part for this photograph, it's very, very hard. It's very like a scientific research project. You need to use a mathematical tool to calculate the trajectory of the sun, the moment, and the distance where you can photograph this photo. Not only that, you also need to use geoinformation system to searching all the location in your city to find the best spot to put the sun right above the building or the person. So it took us 1 year to get some beautiful composition between sun and building, person, and airplane. Finally, we published this work as a cover story on National Geographic, and just talking about how we do the calculation. And the experience I get from this project set a foundation for my photography style, which is engineering and the calculation. Here's the second story I want to share with you. It's about fire waterfall. And this is it. And it's very rare, but very famous natural phenomenon in Yosemite National Park in California. And the waterfall usually looks boring, just waterfall. And but if you run the sunlight simulation in the software, you will find in every year, the 4 days after Valentine's Day, there's 10 minutes window. The sunset, the setting sunlight will crossing all the Yosemite Valley, narrowed by the rocks, the mountain, to project on that waterfall with just right angle to illuminate the upper part of the waterfall. Even though you know the timing, you still need to physically go to the location to take the photograph. And I choose all this candidate location, but in my opinion, the best location will be the red spot, and which is very hard to go there in the winter. So what can I do? And the solution is very simple, and I learned how to climb. I just climb there and get the shot. Mission complete. And climbing for me, it's a set of engineering technique to protect myself and also let me to reach some places that other people cannot reach to. So can take some a beautiful photo like this and this. And I climb a lot of places. Seems crazy. And even climbing is a very good engineering skill for me to reach some larger the places I can go to. But the ultimate question is, how can I put my camera anywhere I want? How about a drone? 5 years ago, the emerging drone technology just seems like a very ideal tool to achieving my dream. And 4 years ago, I bought my first drone. I took it everywhere, and I take a lot of awesome shot with my drone. Seems like the problem solved, right? So this is gunks, and oops. Yes, but I'm a horrible pilot. Drone crashes. And last 4 years, I crashed a lot of a drone. And the drone crashed into ground, tree, building, and anything you can imagine. And also the battery is very dangerous. It's caught fire. It's hard to control a drone, really. And I'm not learning any a piloting skill. I just want to photograph, and that's why I always keep fail. But the essential reason is the drone is very hard to control because drone has 9 degrees of freedom. The drone system itself has 6: forward, backward, up and down, left and right. And also the camera system has 3, like PGR and the roll, so 9 degrees of freedom. So the pilot need to train themselves to transfer their imagination to a 3D camera motion in the space, and by manipulating the joystick at their fingertips. And that's very complex translation process. So take Hollywood as an example, and usually Hollywood require 2 people to control a drone. 1 people control the camera, 1 people piloting the drone. So they have enough hand, maybe 4 hands, to control the 9 degrees of freedom. So even you have the very good pilot, but still need to communication. So directors usually it's very hard to communicate with pilot because some pilot doesn't learn the artistic background, so it's very hard to communicate. So there's always information lost between director original vision and what the pilot finally get. So occasionally the pilot can get a very good shot, but it's very difficult for them to repeat the shot, which is very critical in Hollywood industry. Because where they want to have the several take for the exactly the same shot. So seems like the drone is very approaching to my ultimate a dream system, but seems it bring more barrier to in front of me. So how can I solve this question, this problem? So imagine. What if there is there's a 3D model or a miniature version of the thing you want to film in front of you, and I think you can just manipulate the camera very easily, just like this stop motion setup. You can, because everything is shrink down, so you can move around to take the photo you want. And alternatively, you can be a giant. Like a building tall giant to control the drone with your hand. That's also very cool. Unfortunately, there's no technology can help you scale up or have the environment scale down. So what can I do? So I actually trying to bend the rule of reality by the power of virtual reality. So you can immerse into this virtual San Francisco by wearing a VR goggle. You can walk like a Godzilla and as if in your playground. And now I have a very intuitive tool to access this like a miniature world. So I can control the camera as if like it's in my hand. I can plan the shot. I can editing the shot in the virtual world like that. And also I can preview the shot before I even go to the location. So I can like adjust the shot whenever I want until I satisfy it. If I satisfy the shot I create in the virtual world, I can send that to the real drone. The drone will fly out to match the exactly same shot I planned in the virtual world. That's the very smooth cinematic shot taken by the drone. And it's without any human error. No one controls the drone, actually. So actually, now the drone fly like 20 meters per second. It's very hard for human to control the drone, but still maintain this smoothness. And here's a comparison about the flight plan in the virtual reality and the real footage. You can see it's very accurate. So what you imagine is what you get. And here is also a comparison between two takes for the same shot. One happened in morning, one happened in the afternoon. It's almost identical. So you can create a repeatable shot. So to achieve this precision and also repeatability, I spent last 2 years to study robotics and to build a robotics navigation system software embedded in the state-of-the-art drone system. And also I built the virtual reality interface to to reduce the barrier of the artist to the technology. And now I'm not only can create the precise, repeatable shot, I also can create some like impossible shot for the human hand, just like animation. So in the real world. So to summary, nowadays most of artwork is limited by the barrier, like technology barrier. I think in the future, the technology, the artwork will only limited by creators' creativity, and all the barrier will be handled by robotics and computation power. So in my imagination, the future filmmaking can even just one-person operation. You can express your vision into the virtual system, maybe VR, maybe AR, and then the drone or the robot will take care of the rest of part. They will carry camera, lights, props, even become an actor for you to directly transfer your idea into a real product. And I think I'm still working on this. And a lot of people think art and the technology is separated, but I think it's not. I have just only scratched the surface of what's possible with the power of engineering. So I hope my story can encourage you to embrace the power of engineering to push the frontier of creativity. And what you imagine is what you get. Thank you.